Hello, hello, everybody. Join in, join in, join in. Hello, Dumisani Mabaso, 1989. Welcome, welcome. We're just waiting for some of the delegates. No, not delegates. We're just waiting for some of our guests to join. If you've just joined us, welcome to Sport is Female. Hey, everyone. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to have you here. It almost feels like a real launch where we're face to face, where we could be sharing platters right now, shampoo nyana, to celebrate the launch of this podcast, Sport is Female. I see Flex Mpumi just joined. Hey. She's one of our guests. Roland _RDD, welcome. Tolakele Mganga just joined. Yes, it's a party now. It's a real party now. So, all right. Here we go. Yes, I'm just waiting for her to get the message. We understand that network can be a problem. Although we preach fourth industrial revolution in the country, we're not there yet. But we'll get there, We'll get there. So welcome everyone. I'm so excited that you've joined. Thank you for taking out your time, your valuable time, to join me on my next journey on this podcast, where I aim to celebrate female athletes, to talk about sport in general as well, because it's called Sport is Female and we are celebrating the female athletes doesn't mean we're not going to talk about sport in general, the males as well. We need you, for a man and a woman, they cannot do they cannot exist on their own. So we need each other. Let's see. My guest, Flex Mpumi, she's about to join us. Her name is Mpumi Manyisi. She is the content producer and sports journalist at Soweto TV. Yeah!
Hello.
Hey, Mpumi, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
I truly appreciate when I Refilwe. You, 4IR is dealing with us, hey? But it's okay.
It's dealing with us, eh?
We shall survive.
But we're learning as we go along.
Absolutely.
And absolutely. And hopefully, the government can install infrastructure to get stuff like fiber in our neighborhoods so that data is cheaper.
Please do. This thing is so expensive, but it's okay. We will adjust.
That's a thing. Hashtag data must fall again, and we'll have to march to the union buildings.
Are we ever going to win that battle, Maraye? Yeah, data must fall. Okay,
we could. We just need more voices. We need more voices.
Absolutely.
Mpumi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Sport is Female. As I was saying before, it's a podcast that aims to celebrate our female athletes. Most of the time, people don't know they're female athletes. They don't know the Banyana squad, the Proteas women's squad, the netball squad, the rugby squad. Some people don't even know that there's a women's rugby squad. So, the support they don't have is in terms of sponsorships and in terms of us, ordinary South Africans, people like you and I, who support them, who go to their games, and then the media. That's where now you and I come in, people like my fellow colleague, Tolakele Mganga, come in to talk about these athletes, to give them that platform to tell their story. So that's where Sport is Female comes in. Our aim is to not only celebrate these athletes, but to give them that platform to tell their story and hopefully to inspire the next generation of female athletes.
It's our duty, man, Refilwe, to do that. If we call ourselves sports journalists, sports broadcasters, it's imperative for us to share those stories, especially regarding female athletes. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not much exposed. They don't get the recognition that they deserve, and it's up to us to share our platforms with them, because we have that power to tell those stories. Because you and I are on television, you and I are on radio, we're on print as well, so we can literally write about them. We can do those inserts with them just to make sure that communities know about them. It's our responsibility. It's such a shame that it's not even a fans thing where they don't even know Uguti. There's a national squad, Samantombazane rugby squad, a cricket squad, as well as Banyana Banyana. Even the girls that play for Banyana Banyana currently don't know the pioneers that started Banyana Banyana when Banyana Banyana was started, I think somewhere in 1992. Abo Kabo Zita, Abo Desiree Ellis, Abo it's Cabo, it's Desiree Ellis, it's Notando Gonya. Those are the people that came up with the name Banyana Banyana, as a matter of fact. But if you speak to the current players now and you ask them about that history, they have no idea, and they don't even know them. They don't even greet them when they meet them Guma events. And I understand it's because us as a media, we do not share those stories as much as we're supposed to. But we're learning, and we also unlearning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just had an eye-opening and inspiring interview with Coach Desiree Ellis. So what a way to start the podcast. What a way to start Women's Month. By the way, happy Women's Month. To all my queens out there shattering those glass ceilings. Yes. My queens doing what they're doing and continuing to push that passion. I say happy Women's Month. We're not going for God. We've got this, okay? And we need to flourish. We need to shine. I think if there's one thing that COVID-19 has taught me is that now is the time to live out my dreams, basically. Yes. I've always wanted to do this. So just as a way of introduction, I've always been behind the scenes. I used to produce a show called Sports Talk on 702 and Cape Talk.
One of my favorite shows, by the way.
Very talented people like Mark Lewis and Buhle Matulini. Also worked with Pilasan Lesikaba, Tolakele Mganga, Cindy Poluta. Listen, the list goes on. And I've been behind the scenes producing the show. As a fellow producer, you will know what that's like. Stress that comes with it. The highs that are there when you come up with an idea and then it comes to life. And so you know those challenges and those highs. So I thought, like I was telling you, we don't celebrate our female athletes enough. And let me start a podcast. Let me start a podcast where...
Hi to everyone who's watching. Sorry.
Where I give them that platform to tell their story, to inspire the next generation of female athletes. And I can just kick a ball around, or I can throw my netball ball around. No, that these women are actually talented. And I feel they have to work twice as hard as their male counterparts. So let's go ahead and celebrate them.
That is so true. Speak about us being in the content producing space. It's a space where, first of all, you need not to compete with your presenters, because you're not the superstar to begin with, but you're the one that puts together the hardest work. You need to go out there and fetch fresh content and not get the credit for it because you're behind the scenes. And rightfully so, because you're not the one that's hosting the show, right? But there's a lot that goes into that. You need to get your research in place. You need to get your facts in place. You need to know the right people. You need to have a great network of people within the sporting fraternity. So everything has to be on point, right? Not just for the show, but for you as the producer of the show, which is the engine of the show, meaning the show cannot move if you are not there or if you have not done your job. So if there's something wrong with Buhle Matulini's show, I'm not going to blame Buhle. I'll blame Refilwe. because Refilwe
Yeah.
has to bring in the content so that Bushe's got something to flourish on. You get what I'm saying? So we also need to teach people that guys, if you hear these guys sounding so nice and profound on air, you must know that we plug them in sometimes. You get what I'm saying? And not put ourselves out there. But it's okay because it's part of our job. And we enjoy it, and that's why we are doing this, because we are doing it for love and nothing else.
I see you're wearing your Chelsea t-shirt there. Askisi Chelsea, Askis.
Always and forever.
So the FA Cup, Arsenal beat Chelsea 2-1. Were you able to catch the game, by the way?
Of course. I'm a staunch Chelsea fan. I have to. Yeah, even though we lost, yes.
It was such a disappointment. So I'm a Manchester United fan, and so I was hashtag friends of Chelsea this week.
Are you serious? I should have followed you. That's big news.
Because Arsenal kicked us out.
Yeah, right.
So it was quite a well done. First of all, well done to Arsenal. They were the better team. They were the better side. And I think Chelsea coach Frank Lampard needs to take this in his stride, but then he also needs to learn. I was talking to Kolakela earlier about the game, and I was saying to her that what Frank basically needs to do is, evoke that spirit of Jose Mourinho when he used to coach Chelsea. And you had the likes of Didier Drogba, you had John Terry, and Frank Lampard himself playing for Chelsea at the time. They were a team of winners. Hey, they were passionate and they were hungry for it. And it was evident in the way the team was playing.
True.
So yesterday didn't go so well. And it's for Lampard to basically go back to the drawing board to say, what do I need to do? What do I need to say to these boys so that they can become that winning Chelsea that we used to know?
I think it would take forever for Lampard to become a Jose Mourinho. You get what I'm saying? He's trying to come up with his own system, own way of doing things. He's a young coach. We need to respect what he's trying to do. Personally, I'm very proud of Frank. As you would know, he was faced with a number of injuries. He was banned from buying players. He was dealing with, putting in academy players. So we had a lot of challenges. And for us to would have finished top 4 on the log, it's such a big achievement, knowing that we're going to play in the Champions League together with Frank. He played in the FA Cup, he knew what he needed to do. Unfortunately, a few things went wrong yesterday, of which we're going to talk about. But he has an idea of pressure, FA Cup. He played in the FA Cup and won 4 titles, Yes, he won 4 titles. So he had a good season until he left Chelsea in 2014. So he's absolutely amazing for me. I'm happy he's not yet there. There's a lot of learning and adjusting that needs to happen in between him leading this big team. This is one of the biggest teams in London. So the pressure is way too high. But also, let's not forget to give credit to Mikel Arteta. A young coach. He's only 38 years old. Imagine, already he's got a trophy under his
first
belt.
title.
You know what I mean? He's done absolutely amazing. He also played with Arsenal back in the days, and he's won 2 FA Cups. So pretty much he knows what he needs to do. He knew what he needed to do with the team yesterday. My only problem is with the game. My problem with the game was that the game was way too clumsy. It was way too clumsy. It wasn't. It was distasteful. I mean, it wasn't nice to watch. The balls were all over the place. Far too many injuries. At some point, we played with 10 men.
Yeah.
So what I saw from the two coaches, what they needed was a win. So they forgot about, even the players themselves, they forgot about, dishing out an excellent display, excuse me, for their fans, people who are watching. Sometimes it's okay to lose, but you must lose to a good game. It was such a pathetic game. It looked like a rugby match, and all they wanted was to win. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. What Arteta needed was to jump onto the Europa, of which he did. Now he's gonna play in the Europa League, and we need to applaud that. It's a great achievement, considering the fact that they finished number 8. They wrap up the top 8, so slightly they were just 2 points ahead of Sheffield United. So they could have easily been kicked out by Sheffield United, a young team in the Premier League. To be out of the Premier, to be out of the top 8 in the English Premier League. So he did absolutely amazing. Finished top 8, 56 points. Young coach, he's starting out, a lot of mistakes, things that he has to. There's few things that he needs to adjust. But also, let's not forget to say big ups to Mpumi, our African brother, who did everything he could yesterday to make sure that he clinches that title for Arteta.
I couldn't have said it better. You've said a mouthful on the FA Cup, and really credit must go to Arsenal for winning this FA Cup 14 times in a row now. This is the 14th time for them. And I usually make fun.
I call it the Arsenal Cup. I call it the Arsenal Cup. Absolutely amazing.
No, they deserve the win. Let's let them celebrate in peace. Well done, Arsenal. Well done. You guys haven't won anything in a while. Ever since y'all haven't won anything since Dan van Riebeeck came to South Africa.
Please don't remind them. It's okay now.
Jokes aside. Well done to Arsenal. Now, Mpumi, let's get into knowing a little bit more about you as a female sportscaster, as a content producer, and a sports reporter for Soweto TV. I see a question there. Actually, before we get into that, I see a question from Buhle Mad saying, "What about that red card?"
That red card, I feel right. And I feel like the referee was personal with us yesterday, hey? But as a Chelsea fan, it's in you,
Alright, I'm sorry, we're running out of time here, but so let's just quickly jump into that segment. I just wanted to ask you where your journey with sports started.
Okay, I'll be very quick with it because she was cut. I started at Josie FM around 2010. Funny enough, they hosted auditions. I auditioned with people who have been in the sports presenting space in the longest time, and I was just raw talent. I didn't know anything. By God's grace, I won the audition. I must say myself, I was terrible. I don't think I deserved it. It was just by God's grace. But you know what happens? As you start being in the industry and experiencing the industry firsthand, and learning to understand what is it that is needed of you to make it work. I then went on to study journalism to sort of get an in-depth revelation of what the journalism space is all about and to equip myself. I then joined Massive Metro, I joined Hope FM and went back to, and then went to Soweto TV. Or at some point I went to Soweto TV and left, and I went back to Soweto TV. So that's what it's about.
And you know, as female sportscasters, there are a lot of challenges that we face. I mean, as a female sportscaster, for the longest time, I know that or our predecessors, they faced challenges like, being just looked at as just eye candy, where everything they said was questioned based on the fact that they are women, they are females.
Yes.
So adding to that, what kind of challenges do you still face today as a female sportscaster?
I think we need to, that's a very good question. I think we need to start it here. I was having a conversation with an industry friend, and I said to him, I hated every time when there's a new sports journalist that is, they are easily criticized. It would be a thing of, no, what is she doing? What is she trying to do? She doesn't even know her sport, whatever. But if it's a male journal that is coming up, they are given space to grow and to nurture their talent and to equip themselves and become great journalists and go on to win awards and so forth and so forth. Why can't we do that for female journals as well? If a female journal is coming up, be all on some, what is she saying? Let's listen, just to listen, let's view or watch just to check how does she sound like. No, it's not even a thing of we trying to support. And that is absolutely unfair, guys. We need to be fair in a manner esitreata ngayo ama-journalist, irregardless male or female. Respect has to be there. They know why they chose to be in the space. Let's allow them to grow. Let's allow them to make those mistakes. Those mistakes make them to be better. I wasn't a good writer when I started. I wasn't a good host when I started. I wasn't a good content producer when I started. I just needed somebody who'd believe in me. And as I make those mistakes, I needed someone to say, no, but you don't do this, you do that. You don't write like this, you write like that. When other people are busy watching The Queen and Scandal, you must watch your games. You know what I mean? You need somebody who will hold your hand and just show you the ropes. But unfortunately, it's not like that half the time. You just need to constantly push yourself. And I think that's my challenge, to constantly be criticized as a female journalist, and not being given a space to allow yourself to grow. But I think it's something that you give yourself as well. I know my mistakes. I know things I'm not good at. I know my weaknesses. And even in my weak points, I sit down and say, this was not supposed to be like this. How do we do it? I listen to your shows and listen to how you guys produce and try to nurture and upskill myself as well. And I think if we do that, we constantly, impart sport knowledge onto ourselves, we'll never go wrong as female journalists. We need to be very upskill in the industry. We need to push ourselves. We need to go all out. I know the NBA is back. My biggest problem is waking up at 4 to watch a game. My team was playing, was pathetic. I couldn't even watch it. But I need to work on that as well, to be able to wake up and watch those NBA games, because I said I wanted to do sports, and I went on to get my qualification, as a journalist. So I need to do what needs to be done to really become a journal that I myself can be proud of.
And Mpumi, you touched on a very important point there when you said with NBA games and the challenge is waking up at 4 a.m. or if you want to watch, say, a UFC game, you have to wake up at either 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. to catch that game. And for me, I think that is so important, and it's not just a female thing. It's just as a person, respecting your craft, respecting your audience, and putting in the work and that passion. So let that passion be driven by hard work as well. Invest in yourself, maybe take a course. I mean, I know she is a sportscaster on SABC. She was with Metro FM before, but you'll mostly catch her on SABC 1. She was talking about how she has invested in herself by studying the rules of CAF, by going back to school and studying journalism, by studying communications. So that is very important, that we invest in ourselves. And lastly, what are some of the things that you enjoy most about your job? I know that one of the things I enjoy, or it's a lot of things, but it's meeting those heroes. You know, you grow up watching the likes of Max Mapanyane, Dr.
Repeat
Kumalo,
sentences.
and then to finally meet them, you know, as much as you're not the one interviewing them, to finally meet them and say, oh my gosh, it's you in person. It's like that cherry on top.
True.
And then also interacting with the listeners. Like I said, I was on 702. So interacting with the listeners, because sometimes before they talk to the host, they want to vent a bit and talk to you and get your opinion of something. So yeah, that has been very, very nice for me.
Oh, well, for me, it's of course the pegs of meeting the stars and whatever. But for me, the biggest thing is, you know, besides being a sports journalist, I'm a fan of sports. I'm a sports fan, right? I watch a lot of sports. I enjoy sports, and I'm very opinionated, and I want to share my views regarding the games I watch, right? Now, to experience that at a professional level, where I get to get paid for watching games, it's ridiculous. I sit and say, oh, hold on a second. So I'm going to watch a Chelsea game. Chelsea's my team. And then I'm going to have to go report that story and get paid for that. Come on now. You know, so that's what I celebrate the most about my job. The fact that it's me. I can't separate myself from what I do. And then to get paid for it, which is absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? Well, meeting the stars and whatever and getting the freebies, it's part of the perks, right? But the biggest thing is just, but the biggest thing is just watching my favorite games and get paid for that. It's ridiculous, guys. Why? How? You know?
Hey, if it can be done, it can be done. I see a comment from Bushe Mad saying, lastly, already, we want more. Look, we'll definitely have more of these conversations, more of these Insta Lives, so that people get familiar with sport as female. However, we are pressed for time. I am so sorry, everyone. We're pressed for time because we spoke to Banyana coach Desiree Ellie, and that will be broadcast, published tomorrow. So we have to edit that. We have to make sure that it sounds good for you guys. We have to package the entire podcast to make sure that it sounds crisp. So my colleague Roland, who I work with on this podcast, also has to go to his second job, because you know the nature of our industry is that in order to survive, you know, it's hectic. That's why you'll see like a Buhle Majulini at Super Sports, and then you see him at Newsroom Africa, and then you see him, or you hear him at Radio 702. It's because we have to do all these roles. So my colleague has to go to Super Sports, and then we also have to edit this podcast. But I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, Mpumi, for agreeing to be my guest and for sharing a part of your story. Because it's just a part of the story. We're going to talk more. We're going to talk more and more. So thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Thank you for your questions. I'm sorry that we couldn't answer all of them. I saw those questions coming up. So what we'll do is let's continue the conversation on social media. So that podcast is going to be ready. We have a website. It's called www.sportisfemale.com.
Well done, Mami. Well done.
Thank you. And then you can also find us on YouTube. Sport is Female. So don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to like, and to share.
Of course. Thank you guys for the beautiful comments. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for the platform. You know, I'm the shyest human being under the sun. I wasn't ready for this, but
there's no shyness here. You did very well. Thank you so much for joining me. And I look forward to our interactions on social media. Let's continue the conversation there. And let's not forget to use the hashtag, very important, Sport is Female.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful Sunday, and let's continue the conversation on social media. Alrighty, that episode will be with you tomorrow by 12 the latest. We spoke to Banyana Banyana coach Desiree Ellis, and it was basically to get her story, to find out what drives her, how she started out, her interest in football, her career, and getting Banyana Banyana to their first ever Women's World Cup last year. So much that we spoke about, but that episode will be ready for you tomorrow. Thank you so much, and thank you for using the hashtag #SportIsFemale. I see you, Bushe. Hello, Gary. I see you've just joined. Yeah, and that brings me to the end of our Instagram Live. I promise we'll have more of this. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep well, be safe, put those masks on, and sanitize. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye.